Black people, y'all should be like them. Y'all need to stop causing all this ruckus with all your protests and your sit-ins. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Logan, Sketchbooks and... Yeah, Logan, also known as Sketchbooks and Bookbooks. I haven't done this in a while, and it shows. But then again, I always suck when it's at the opening, so really it doesn't, you know... When you keep the same level of like terrible kind of quality, you ain't got nothing to prove. So anyway, I'm going to do a February wrap up. All the books I read in February did pretty good. I think, not really. Like if I did good if I don't compare myself and just be like, you know, reread books. Which how many adults can say they do that now? Not many, because it's hard. You gotta set aside time to read books. You gotta make it a priority. And I did, because I read 7 of them. 7 books in February. And, you know, had some loves, had some hits, had some misses. It was a pretty good month, though, I think. You know, not too bad. I wasn't, like, severely disappointed with anything. So, I mean, they were pretty good. We're going to get right into it. I think I'm going to do this a little differently, though. I'm not going to chronologically. I'm going to do, like, I had 2 books that were standouts for me. 2 books that I'm still deciding on. Like, I don't know which one is I know which one should be my favorite, because like it's like Passing by Nella Larson. I finally read it and I made it an event and everything, because I read the book and then I watched the movie like an idiot, because after being a book reader for like 20 something years, I should know that it's not going to be faithful to the book, and yet I was still surprised. Your girl was still surprised. I was like, oh wow, that's not how it happened in the book. I was still saying that. Should have known. I was like, you're an idiot, but it's okay. It was still good. It was a good movie. I liked it. I was just like, why did you think it was gonna be the same? I don't know why I still think that. I don't know why. Anyway, but yeah, so Passing by Nella Larson. Finally read it. It's a classic. It's good. It's great. It was wonderful. And then the other book that was a standout for me is Nobody, Somebody, Anybody by Kelly McClory. Okay, that is also like, there's only 642 ratings for it on Goodreads, and so it's a very like, it's not a well-known book, but I loved it, and I want to buy it and have it on the shelf back here, any shelf, just in my house. I want to own it. I liked it a lot. So Passing is probably going to be like, you know, my favorite, because I'm just like, that was a lot. It was great, everything I thought it would be. But also, it was a lot more than I thought it would be. Both Passing and Nobody, Somebody, Anybody gave me way more than I expected going in. Like the bare minute. I was like, with Passing, I thought it was just, you know, these 2 friends. Both of them are black, but then like one stays black. They're like light-skinned black women. One stays black and one passes as white, and then that's all I thought it was. But there was so much more, okay, than just like talking about race. It was talking about marriage and just like femininity and like, I don't know. I'm like, if it seems like I'm still confused, it's because I kind of am. I'm not confused, but it's just, it was so much. And I understand now, like with Nella Larson, she only published like 2 books, and then like the 3rd book she had a problem publishing, and so then she gave up and kind of like, she lived the rest of her life as a nurse, but she's so highly respected, and she wrote 2 books. But just like, after reading Passing, I'm like, I understand, because that was so short too, but so much happened, and it was so intense. Oh, it was good though. It was good. But the language also was like kind of hard for me, because there's like, just how they talked back then, I guess. It's like commas everywhere, and run-on sentences galore, and just, I'm like, and they be saying stuff, and it's like, it's an artistic way of saying things, but it's also just so much more complicated than how you could have said it, you know. But that's the appeal of that like literature, you know, that classic book, which I'm like, I will never imitate that, because it's too much. It's too much, but it was really good. I liked it. Nobody, Somebody, Anybody is hard to explain, but it's like, it's a debut novel, Kelly McClory's first book, and it's about an anxious young white woman who like administers a self-made placebo treatment in a last-ditch attempt to rebuild her life, okay? in the placebo treatment, she like wants to be an EMT. Okay. And she like already failed the exam like 2 times, and then like if you fail it like a 3rd time, she has to go into school, and she thinks that's embarrassing, so she doesn't want to do that. So then the placebo treatment is pretty much her just being like, she's already an EMT and she's just gonna retake the exam, so she's gonna pass, you know. But then there's like, that's the basic thing, but I'm like, that's not even the most important part of the book, because like, and I don't even know how to describe the book because so many things happened that didn't make sense. But basically this girl was so socially anxious, and like how she looked at people, these strangers, and like she wanted to have like friends and stuff, but she just had problems making them. I really related to her. Like it was the first character in a while where I was like, you're my baby. Like I like adopted her. I was like, I feel you, because how she would just look at social situations, it reminded me of myself in high school. Like the level of anxiety I would work myself into when I arriving late to class, and I would be like, this is like legit memory. It was keyboarding class. It's like middle school actually. And I was late and everyone was already in there, and I'd gotten my pass and everything, but I was like kept looking into the window, seeing everyone working, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would interrupt the whole class and then everyone's gonna be looking at me, and I couldn't do that. And so I kept waiting, and I was like, I would walk the hall just like trying to, I guess, find a better way to interrupt class. It's not gonna come. You're gonna interrupt class regardless, so you just gotta do it, you know? But that level of anxiety, that's times 10 kind of, is what is represented in Nobody, Somebody, Anybody, and I just really liked it. And then I read a review after finishing it and like loving it and stuff. And someone was like, Amy doesn't change at all, the whole book, and I was like, they right though. Like it hurts because it's true. It's like, it's kind of true, but at the same time, I really enjoyed reading it. Like I had no idea what was gonna happen next, okay? And she was just one heck of an unreliable narrator. I should do a whole video on that one. But anyway, those are like my Passing and Nobody, Somebody, Anybody are my standouts for February. And then I guess after that, did I read? Yeah, A Touch of Gin. I did like A Touch of Gin. I already did a video on that, obviously. I guess that would be the next one. Then after that, I'd say No One Is Talking About This by Patricia Lockwood, which I picked up once again because of the cover. The cover is beautiful, okay. Thought it was really cool. That was a weird one. I read it as like an ebook. That was weird. And I also got the audiobook, but I hated the voice actor's voice. The voice actor's voice was like making me really, really bored. And I was like, this isn't a boring story. Like I can't do this with her. So I couldn't do that, which kind of sucks, but hey, it happens. Something. I'm not gonna get into it, but anyway, No One Is Talking About This, Patricia Lockwood. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's kind of like the portal is the internet, and the main character becomes kind of like a social influencer there, and it's like an extreme form of the internet because it's like that's what everyone does is to just go through the portal, but then something in real life happens to the main character, and it makes her like question society and reality and how much time we spend on social media. And it was surprisingly touching near the end, because in the beginning it's like just random snippets from the portal and like kind of like random weird sentences that make fun of our reality and how social media is like so weird, and like, yeah, I don't know. That one was okay. I think I gave that one 4 stars. I didn't even say what I gave for Passing. I gave 5 stars, and Nobody, Somebody, Anybody I gave 4 stars. So yeah, No One Is Talking About This I gave 4 stars as well. Then what would be my next one? The stars. Yeah, so then I guess my next one is The Love Con by Ceresia Glass. I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, The Love Con, that was good. It was it's a romance, interracial romance, black woman, white man, and like they're cosplayers. She's in a competition for cosplaying, and then the last round in the competition is like building a cosplay with your partner, and so then we get the fake dating trope because she brings in her best friend Cam for it to help her And then of course Cam is actually in love with her, and they like fall in love. It was very sweet. It was really good. I liked it. It was just like very by the book, you know? But it was good. It gave me everything that I wanted when I first picked up like The Fastest Way to Fall at the beginning of the year. It gave me everything I wanted from that book. It gave me it in the Love Con. But yeah, it was very like formulaic. I'm not, when it comes to romance, like I read it when I'm in the mood, but it's not my favorite genre by any means. Like when it's like the main thing, I love it as a subplot. Can get it as a subplot. That's where I think it truly shines. But as like a genre in whole, I can't read too many of them because I just get fatigued, because it's really the same pattern. I read a book once where they broke it down. It's like, you know, boy meets girl, boy and girl fall in love, boy and girl like get together, then they break up, but then they get back together, and then that ruined it for me. I was like, dang, that's true. That was middle school when I read a book that broke that down, and it ruined everything. I was like, why? And then you just read that over and over again. Just that same formula, but with like plugging and chugging different variables. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah, the Love Con, that was good. And then after that, I guess, because I read Bluebird in February. And I also read Displacement by Kiku Hughes, which was a graphic novel. I'm like, which one did I enjoy more? I probably enjoyed Displacement more because it dealt with, it was like Kindred, if you know what Kindred is, by Octavia Butler. It's like, you know, a girl goes back in time to the past with like her slavers. First of all, it's a black woman, and she goes back in time, and then she has to like save her grandfather or something, or else she doesn't exist. Well, it kind of took inspiration from that in Displacement because it's an Asian American woman, and she goes back in time to when her family was put into internment camps during World War II in America. And honestly, even though I do have a high school diploma, you know, I don't really remember learning much about that, you know? And I was like, yeah, like I can't tell you jack about the internment camps that America did and put Japanese people into it, all Asian people into it. I can't tell you jack about that. So yeah, I felt very ignorant reading the book. I had no idea. But then I really liked it because it was like, it kind of went into the model minority myth and how it was created after this, because like Asian Americans, obviously they were very quiet about what had happened to them, and then like, you know, America was like, look at the Asian Americans being so great and not being mad about how we were so racist to them. Black people, y'all should be like them. Y'all need to stop causing all this ruckus with all your protests and your sit-ins. just, you know, sit back and take it. like these Asian people. I shouldn't be laughing, but that's so stupid. Like, that's what the model minority myth is, though. That's how it was created. And I'm like, I didn't really know that, you know, so that was a good one. It was a good book. I liked it. It was alright. I gave it 3 stars because I don't know. Like, I wasn't connecting with it that well. But yeah, so I just read those 7 books in February. February was a rough month. I don't know if, well, actually, February wasn't that rough. March is rough. March has been rough, and that's why, shoot, I didn't even film anything for 2 weeks. I was like, we ain't even gonna think about it because it was stressful. So, but we here, and we've been here for now almost like a year. Like my first video was posted sometime in March, the 20th something, someday, some Wednesday. Yeah, so I kind of want to do like an anniversary video or something, and I'll work that out. But yeah, it's been sketchbooks and bookbooks. I'm so over the place, and I'm sorry for that. But Displacement, that was 3 stars, and the Love Con, that was 4 stars. Bluebird was 3 stars for those. Yeah, so it's been sketchbooks and bookbooks. Thank you for watching. Go read a book. have some thoughtsy watsies, and I'll catch you next time.